What's up, viewers? It's your favorite gamer, 99 Cent McFury here, back with another stream. I'm starting to get used to streaming a little bit. I did a couple of streams previous weeks. Go check those out. I got a new topic today. I'm just gonna come in, start doing these streams about some gaming topics as a whole in general. So today, gamer depression. Now, before we get started, be sure to check out my website, 99centmcfury.com. Be sure to subscribe and like this video for all my gamers who are trying to get better at gaming, looking into career opportunities in gaming, and just like to game in general and want to become a better gamer as a whole. You know, whether you want to compete, do anything in the gaming industry, what have you, be sure. My membership is only 99 cents. Check out 99centmcfury.com. Now, gamer depression. So before we get started, we got to know what depression is, right? People tend to use that word quite fluently, okay? So when in doubt, Google it, right? So the Google definition of depression is it's a serious mood disorder characterized by persistent sadness or loss of interest in activities. So when I'm speaking of gamer depression, this is not what I'm talking about, okay? So let me clarify. My definition of gamer depression, which I don't even think is an actual term, I pretty much came up with that years ago as I was exploring esports and, you know, trying to shift gears in where I wanted to take gaming as a whole. So gamer depression is pretty much where you still love to game, but you're not excited for game releases like you used to. So what I mean by that is, for those who remember this right here, this image says it all. You know, the midnight game releases at GameStop, what have you. Most of the time it's usually for like Call of Duty or whatever particular game that you're interested in, and you can't wait for it to come out. You gotta get your hands on it immediately to play it. That type of anticipation, you know. So those who are watching, you probably did at least one of these, or tried to, and your parents was like, "Fuck out of here, we're not doing that. Like, you gotta go to school tomorrow," or whatever. For the adults, you know, we were doing it. We were just like, hey, we're gonna meet up here, camp out, get some snacks, what have you. We're just gonna wait it out. They made it a whole event. It was great. We all anticipated that. The excitement was there. Even if the game was trash down the road, the anticipation and the excitement was there. Now it's just gone. I mean, I'm gonna speak for myself, but those who are watching, I'm pretty sure there's been a time span or window where games are coming out all the time. And you're just like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna play it because I enjoyed the first two, but I'm not really excited about it. You know, kind of like sports franchise games, for example, like NBA 2K and Madden. It's like, how if y'all still get excited about these games, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's just nothing changing but the roster. They tweak a few things. I mean, there's nothing exciting, in my opinion, about those games. Me personally, I've been gaming all my life. I still game to this day. And there's only been a few times where I got really excited about a video game coming out where, like, I pretty much canceled everything, you know, called off of work. Hit up my homeboys like, yo, this game's coming out. What we doing? I can't be the only one, like, playing this. And this is post-online playing as well. So, for example, I'll give you a handful of games that I got extremely excited about upon release, okay? The first one was called Sega Seaman. I'm just gonna leave it at that, okay? Those who had Dreamcast, I'm not gonna put any images of that game on there. But if you had a Tamagotchi back in the day, the little digital pet things, that game. And it was so innovative. You pretty much was raising a fish, but it was a semen. It was a fish with a human face. And you got it from egg all the way up to tadpole, fish. There was different layers, evolves, evolution phases of this fish. And it was innovative, man. You had a microphone, you would talk to it, and your TV was actually the aquarium. So your whole TV screen was the aquarium. And it was so innovative. You could tap on the TV screen and like the semen fish would come towards you. Like, how the hell does a game that's compacted in a CD know if you tap on the screen, your little semen will swim there? You could talk to it, teach it words, it would register and say it back. It was insane. The game was great. Another one was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which came out March 30th of 2009. Yeah. When that game came out on Dreamcast, that's all I played, man. I was so excited about that game. Like, that was literally life for me. I'm sorry, that came out in 2000, not 2009. It was because I was still in high school. So it was March 30th, 2000 is when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out. Another game was Shenmue 2. That came out October 29th, 2002 for Xbox. For those who like the Shenmue series, like, it was originally on Dreamcast, and then Dreamcast died. And we were like, yo, this game was epic. We're never gonna see the saga continue. And then in 2002, it came out on Xbox. And I was like, ooh, yes. That was life. That's all I did was play that game. And now that I'm thinking about it too, the last time I've ever got excited about any video game was February 12th, 2009. That's when Street Fighter 4 came out. And that pretty much changed my life. I mean, I called off for work. I was a grown-ass man. I had a girlfriend at the time, living in a condo, was working at JP Morgan Chase as a mortgage underwriter. But I called off for work, right? I let them loans sit there. I was like, hey, Street Fighter 4 came out. I'm sorry. We've been playing Third Strike for years, and they changed the way it looked and everything. Calling off for work. Come with my buddies in Florida. We had a whole cookout. It was grilling. My man was making hamburgers with the fried egg on top. Before it was Red Robin. I don't know what it was called, but we called off for that. That was the pure excitement of it. Now, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I don't get too excited about particular video games anymore. The last one that actually came about that I was excited about was Marvel Rivals, because I was like, oh, that's like Overwatch with Marvel characters. That's dope. I didn't call off at work. I was just like, I'll get it when I get it. I'll play it when I play it. So like, I don't know what, maybe it comes with age. Maybe as you get older, you're not as excited about certain video games that are coming out now because you've probably seen it all pretty much. Let me know what y'all think. But now it's almost like, I don't want to say as much as I love gaming, and maybe I'm speaking for myself, so maybe I can relate to it, but it feels like gaming now is, since there's no real excitement that grabs you, it seems more like a chore. It's almost as if you either choosing to watch Netflix or Hulu or play video games, but you don't get as excited as certain peak games. And you know what I'm talking about. We all have certain games that we love to play, and when it comes out, we're just like, oh, we get hyped up. Life don't even exist until you get your hands on that game. And y'all can tell me in the comments which games that you guys feel like has grabbed that excitement. But now I'm just sitting back like, it's all updates on the same game. nerfs and patches, and it's not really exciting. It's a little depressing. Gamer depression. So I think the next game, and probably the last game ever in my lifetime, that I'm going to get extremely excited about, where I'm like canceling Christmas and everything, is when GTA 6 finally drops. I think that's going to be the last game on Earth in my lifetime that I'm getting really, really excited about, and everything's going to cease to exist at that moment until I get my hand on that game and ready to play that. But everything else, correct me if I'm wrong. Am I missing something? Give me recommendations like, hey, coach, you need to play this game. Maybe I'm missing a catalog of games that I just don't really get excited about anymore. It's as much as I love gaming, it feels more of a, I don't want to say chore, because that just sounds like it's unenthusiastic. But it just kind of feels like something that, a habit, a routine that I go through the ropes with. Wake up, go to work, take my daughters to school, business, this, that, time of game. Tournaments, they kind of get me excited, not as much as they used to. I still love to do it, but I don't get as enthusiastic. I get more excited about my players on the college or the players that I sponsor when they do well. That's what I get excited about now. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let's go. And I'm hyping them up. So maybe this gamer depression hits with age as you get older. Because, you have more, responsibilities in your life and you're doing more things. Because most of my excitement that I mentioned before with these games, it was during the time where I was like in high school and early 20s, and other than work, I really didn't have any real responsibilities. So I really didn't have nothing to really look forward to, except for a new release of a game. So maybe that plays a factor into the whole gamer depression. So, but it's an interesting concept that I came about when I was just sitting one day, I was playing a game, and I was like, man, I don't want to play this shit, but I love the game, so I'm like, what's going on? Or it's almost like when you play an RPG game or a quest game, and then you beat the game, right? Excited, ooh, yay. And then you play the game again, and it don't have the same effect as the first time you played it. Now, I think that's why they have like side quests and missions and what have you. Or 100% completion, or they tell you how much you completed in the game to give you a reason to go back and play it, because that excitement after playing it the first time, the creators probably understand that, it's dead. So we need to give them side quests to keep them playing, because that excitement is gone. So, but that's just something I wanted to, talk about here. You gamers' thoughts, comments, what have you. I know I can't be the only one going through this. Like, I refuse to believe that someone who loves the game at some point doesn't have a low or a plateau where they just like, this ain't doing it for me. I need another game. And then you spend money on a game and you realize, that wasn't the answer. So, now, as far as some solutions to kind of get you out of that gamer's depression slump, what I would do is I just stop playing the game for a little bit. What's that phrase say? Go outside and touch grass? Go outside and touch grass. Or do something else. You kind of have to miss gaming for a little bit in order for you to get that excitement back whenever you're feeling, down or whatnot from gaming. But, just stop gaming for a little bit. Go outside, do something else. Give you a chance, find a new hobby. And then come back to gaming. You'll be like, damn, I missed this. And then maybe that excitement comes back because you haven't played for so long. So, prime example, that's what I do in tournaments. I'm entering Combo Breaker. So once I'm done with Combo Breaker, the games that I'm entering in, I don't touch it for a month. Yuck. I don't want nothing to do with it. And then I come back a month or two later and I'm like, damn, I missed this game. And then that excitement kind of comes back. So as far as solutions, that's the best thing that I would probably recommend when you're in that gamer's depression. So that's all I got. I just wanted to vocalize, bring that to light. I talked about this years ago and back when blogs and forums was a thing. But, let me know in the comments if you guys can relate to what I'm talking about and, what you've done in order to overcome it. But I think we're all, as gamers, I think at some point we all get that point where we're just like, I don't even want to do it no more. And some of us just stop gaming in general. They don't try to overcome it. Some of my homeboys I used to game with in high school, they don't even do it no more. They tell me like, bro, there's no game out that I've gotten excited for since high school. And I'm like, damn. It's like, what do you do? Like, what do you do for fun? So, but that's it. Short and sweet today. Like I said, let me know what you think about in the comments, if you've gone through this or whatnot. Other than that, just stay tuned for my next stream. It's 99 Cent McFury, your favorite gamer, and I'm out.